Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cheerleaders, welcome to another episode of Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is my partner Anthony. This is a Judo podcast for Judo players by two Judo players. So Anthony, how you doing?
Yeah. As you can see, Juan looks like he's in low res. Like you look like you're in a war zone or something using a satellite.
As you can see, it's like night vision. I was trying to go for a nice holiday look for this one. And when I first made it, it looked really good. And when I tried it at home, I thought it looked pretty nice. But now it does look like we're in a war zone, like some night vision. I got some sparklers behind me. And I'm supposed to say happy holidays for everybody on top right here. So everybody out there, this episode is supposed to be coming out on Christmas Eve, I believe. So everyone out there, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And Juan just wasn't able to record at home today. So he's at the dojo, and our dojo's internet is kind of spotty, which is why I don't know if we mentioned in the last episode, but we did advertise that the tournament we hosted at our dojo.
Yeah.
Was going to be live streamed on Twitch. I was kind of excited about that. Jerry from Sawtell set that up, but then our internet wasn't good enough to stream. But I think it should be fine. But I'm going to have to do some diagnostics to see if it's like the internet itself or whether the community center is using a cheap router or something. So maybe we can let the dojo
router. Yeah. I was just about to say that it might be an old cheap router.
Pitch in for a better router, and then Go ahead.
So if I'm lagging everybody and we're talking over each other, it's because I'm on this bad internet. I'm sorry. All right. It's the best I can do. I really want to use this background. All right. That's mostly why I'm on here. I could do it on my phone, but I want to have a cool background behind me right now. Sorry. Happy holidays. See what I do for you. See what I do for our fans.
Yeah, I mean, since we were talking about it, we could briefly go over the tournament, right? We didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, why not? So some people may know or may not know, we posted it on our own Instagram. We post on the Hollywood Judo Instagram and stuff. So in California hasn't had a tournament in almost 2 years because the people that run the California tournaments, they're kind of scared of putting all the money down to deposit for a building, move the mats to everything, and then the state just changes the plans like we're doing right now in the holiday season here in California. Anyways,
they're enforcing outdoor masks again. Because of Omicron. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a California thing. So the people that run the California tournaments didn't want to have a tournament this year. They were going to move the Winter Nationals to Vegas, but then they decided not to for some reason. So our dojo took on ourselves like, okay, well, if we can't have a big tournament, let's have a small crosstown tournament. So we invited our sister dojo, Sawtell Judo, and then a friend dojo, which was Goltz Judo. And I believe he added a few members from another dojo to his team.
I think she was from the Air Force Base around here. She teaches judo at the Air Force Base, is what I heard. So I don't know what the name was.
Yeah, I don't remember the name was either, but it was like a little 3-club tournament. You went on there, you fought 2 people, sometimes best 2 out of 3 if we didn't have enough people, but it was really fun, and we were supposed to live stream it through Sawtell's Twitch channel, which was whatever their Twitch Sawtell, I think. I don't know what the name was.
Sawtell I was advertising it though. Judo _ dojo. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of underscores. I love the underscores. You can see by my name. But so we tried, and apparently the internet was kind of weak, and they shot like half the matches or 1/3 of the matches or something before they gave up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because I was looking like, okay, cool. That's where the what do you have? You had a tablet up there.
I don't think it even started. So
really? No, because someone said they saw some matches online.
Oh, okay. I don't know then.
Maybe they only got their speeches then. They only got their opening speeches of Gary Goltz and Philippe. So they tried. We have weak internet here, as you can see with me lagging probably. Again, sorry, but we tried. And because of that, it actually got me thinking that if me and Anthony want to try some stuff later on Twitch, doing some demonstrational videos or maybe a workout or just us at a tournament, maybe. Did you get the Twitch channel for us, Anthony?
I'm going to do that right now.
I told her to do this like 2 weeks ago.
Who's going to take the Tatami talk? Who's going to take the Tatami?
I don't know. There's a lot of other Tatami talk. What was it? Was it not fighting films? Judo Fanatics or someone did a Tatami talk episode too? And we got a couple messages about like, oh, this person put up their own Tatami Talk video.
No, it was Ryan Vargas. He I don't know who he was working with trying to make some judo videos, and one of the episodes was like a little like chat that they had on the mat about. I forgot what the topic was, but they called it Tatami Talk episode 1. But then they never came out with episode 2, so I guess they realized. I don't know. Like,
yes, we own that name right now.
It feels like it's a more BJJ focused video. So,
okay,
yeah.
So that's for us. Hopefully in the future, we're going to use our own Twitch channel to maybe put some things out there. We'll hopefully have a stronger internet. So we might do it at Anthony's house in his garage.
Yeah.
And for anybody out there that may have seen Anthony put up a video the other day, when you watch the video, Anthony lost another bet. So I put up this story about how my wrestling coach every year would show the freshmen that how safe the wrestling mat was. And I actually saw this back when I was like in 5th grade and I first started wrestling, when I was first doing folk style. So to get an egg and be like, look at this egg, drop the egg and it bounces. The egg doesn't crack. Therefore, you're not going to crack. As long as you learn how to fall correctly, you're not going to crack either. Anthony's like, no, it ain't going to work. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And I'm like, Anthony, we have great mats.
Hey, I thought your wrestling coach was super short. It was like, to clarify. I thought he was super short or something, and he was probably dropping from my the height of my knees, basically.
The height of your knee. So here at our dojo, we have compression foam, and then we have 2 layers of plywood on top of that sandwich, so it's like crisscross pattern. And then we have 2-inch Fuji competition style mats. Okay, really, really good mats. And we tried it. Anthony decided to put up a 6-pack on that. Okay, just like he did last time. Yep. That's what happened. Sensei Juan wins. The video is great. I'm gonna post it up next week. I think I'm gonna put it up there. Yep. Anthony, you got something to say?
Yeah, I still need to record.
You were?
I was pretty surprised. I still need to record my part. The funny, we might as well explain it for those people who actually listen to this podcast instead of just watching videos, is that you forgot to take the screen off your camera. So
no, I have a clear protective screen on there. Okay. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I make a video, I may forget to take that clear plastic screen off the protection, and it looks like I have like a soft filter on my camera. So if you're seeing my videos, they look like I have this
Instagram glow.
I always call it the Iraq. It looks like I'm filming like a desert war scene in Iraq. That's just like this light fade to and stuff, has a little brown. It looks really cool. So if you see that, Sensei Juan forgot to take the screen off, his protective screen. So it's clear. You can still watch the video.
So we had to use that spare egg and record it again. And we had to act like, I had to act surprised. I'm just like, oh, wow.
So I'm going to post up both videos. They're going to be the main video. It's going to be clear so you can actually see it. Then we do like a little outtakes of the original take we did. Yep. And I brought 2 eggs to show Anthony how it's going to do, how it's not going to break. The first one we did from about would be like Ogoshi. So about hip, my hip, Anthony said, so we did like the little middle right there. Okay. Dropped it. Ogoshi, Osotogari, Kochigari, like just a simple fall, not too high. Did it. It bounced. Anthony's mind is blown because he can't believe it. He's accusing me of bringing out a fake egg, like I'm bringing some Chinese egg or something. Holding it with glue. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, here, Anthony, you feel it. Go ahead, shake it around, see how you feel. He's like, all right, it's a real egg. And we're like, okay, let's do a bigger throw. So now let's go higher, shoulder width, about shoulder height. Now this would be like Ippon Seonagi, big throws, big kataguruma maybe, okay? Big throw, big uchimata. We drop it. Guess what? It doesn't break again. Anthony freaks out. His mind is blown. It bounces a lot too. I was actually surprised how much it bounced.
Yeah, it bounced like 4 or 5 times, I think, right?
Yeah. Both times with both eggs, they didn't break. Anthony was a little suspicious about the yolk though. So I don't know. He shook it a lot. He shook the egg a lot in his hand to like try to break it, I think.
When I record my part, I'll open it up and check. So though I don't know if my mats will do the same, but we'll see.
We'll see.
My mats are not 2 inches. They're the thinner ones. So,
all right. Because like I said, when I grew up wrestling, it was just regular foam. And we had foam and we had like that foam rubber, really little squishy mats. And it was just on hardwood floors. And I think it was probably just on concrete, actually. It's just like concrete, hardwood floors. And then
wrestling mats are pretty soft, actually. Because we had some judo tournaments at high schools, gymnasiums, and the warm-up area is usually where the wrestling room is. And they're pretty soft, but they're also pretty slippery, which is why I can see why people would wear wrestling shoes, but when you're barefoot, it's pretty slippery.
Yeah. For wrestling mats, there's two major types. Usually the foam rubber ones that have like a top layer that's like a faux leather. It's not leather, but it's like, it kind of seems like that. And then just the old school, real foam, like squishy foam leather, not foam leather, foam ones that just have like a plastic topping on it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would be. Like someone tell me what it is, and it crack too. When you get too old, you try to roll them up, they start cracking. You're like, oh shit, I don't want to get in trouble with my coach. I got to go. But Anthony's mats, they're nice mats. They're not 2-inch mats, but it's going to be like 1/2 inch, 1 inch. What do you think they are?
1.25, I think they are.
All right. So his mats are
the Fuji
mats.
Fuji and Dahlinger sell two versions. It's obviously the thicker ones are more expensive. One of them is 1.25, and then I think the thicker ones are 1 3/4, so close to 2 inches. They don't make 2-inch mats, but they make 1 3/4 or something. So
yeah. So when he does his part of the experiment, it's going to be just his mats, roll mats on top of this concrete floor.
Yep.
On top of his garage. And I bet he's going to throw the egg to make sure that I lose again, that I lose this time, actually.
I'm just going to drop it.
But we're going to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this shows that when you watch the video, when it comes out, that tatami mats are very safe. Wrestling mats are very safe as long as you fall correctly. As long as you take fall seriously, learn how to fall correctly. Flat on the mat. Don't bend your knees. Don't try to like put one part for the other. You're going to be fine. If you get thrown, just slap the mat. Fall.
Don't forget to slap the mat.
Don't forget to slap the mat, because if you don't slap the mat, you post the mat and say bye-bye to your elbow. So if you're broken, it's dislocated. That's what happens most of the time. People say, oh, I broke my arm. Like, no, you dislocated your arm.
Yep.
You don't have breaks in wrestling and in judo. Do you see me?
Yeah, it's just froze for a second. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I saw things that unstable. So I was like, oh, stop. All right, so now it's going. Okay. So if you learn how to fall correctly and stuff, you're going to be fine. It's just the same thing always. Learn to fall, learn to fall, learn to fall. I know it sucks. I know it sucks at all. Like, oh, it's so boring, but you got to do it. All right. It's a fun thing to do. Falling. I like falling. So Anthony, were you surprised by the experiment?
I was. How do I put it? I didn't expect it to bounce. I knew there was a chance that it would work, Otherwise I would have upped the ante and bet like 2 or 3 packs of beer, but I knew there was a chance it would work. I didn't expect it to work that well, if you know what I'm saying. So I was really surprised actually, by how well it worked. Not by the fact that it worked, but by the fact that it worked really well and bounced so much. So, though I'm more surprised by the egg than surprised by the mats,
Really? How tough this egg is?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we gotta try different species of eggs, because sometimes I feel like that eggshell felt pretty hard,
You get some quail eggs, maybe try to get an ostrich egg, let's see what happens.
Get a dinosaur egg,
It's funny because I kind of want to do this because where are we going to get a dinosaur egg at? Where are we going to find that at? Okay. We're going to go UCLA, try to sneak in, get an egg real quick, run out, get some snake eggs or something. I don't know. It's funny because I always talk about this and I tell people about this at the dojo, like my wrestling coach should do this. I'm thinking about now, since I know it works on these tatamis, I'm for sure that's going to work now. I'm going to bring eggs in every now and then for the beginners class and for the kids class. Be like, hey, look, don't be scared of falling, because you have some kids that are fearful of falling.
Yeah.
We had that one little girl last week in her class that just did not want to fall. She was like, you're crazy. She had a look in her eyes of like, no, I'm going to die. So I think showing this to them will put them at ease a little bit. Like, oh, well, if A can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah, one of the parents actually showed up early last night, and she had a younger kid that been wanting to get on his tatami mats for a long time. So when he's old enough, I think they're gonna put him in judo too. And I was like, yeah, take off his shoes, let him run around. None of the other kids are here yet, right? So I'm also like, you can also come on the mats and like get him like used to the mats, just take off your shoes. So she got on, the parent got on the mat and she was like, wow, these floors are so springy. So I'm like, yeah, you guys don't know how well you have it, like $40 a month and you get all this. Like,
yeah, our mats are amazing. If you're in the LA area, come try them out. Like, we've had people compliment us that have done gymnastics before and say these are just like tumbling mats. So it's better than when I first started. When I first started doing judo here at Hollywood, we had foam rubber directly on the floor. And then we had blue tumbling mats on top of them, and then giant tarp over all of it. That was supposed to be really tight so it didn't want to move. When I first started doing judo here, it was pretty cool because it was very squishy, not squishy, but like it was soft. It was nice to fall on. But then towards the end of it, there's like holes in certain places because things are trying to separate, and you're like, I don't want to do ashiwaza there. I don't want to do judo there. I'm going to fall directly onto it. Because the spot. Yeah, you get certain spots because the blue mats were separating somehow. And then you just be hitting the foam rubber directly onto the linoleum and concrete. And like,
those were the mats we used when we were training outdoors. Like we still have them.
Yeah, we were doing hard throws on the tatamis, on the blue tumbling mats outside. We brought the crash pad outside, put that on top of that, and threw each other hard on that.
Yeah, so let's move on to today's topic.
No, hold on. I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
If anybody out there wants to try this experiment, please do send us a video, send us a link of it to show people how safe judo mats and wrestling mats are. And if you got BJJ mats or something, test it out. See how it works for you guys. I'm curious about how this works. Let me know what your mat. Yeah. And show me and tell us what kind of mats they were that you guys used. Okay. So there's a little homework for you guys out to go and try it out. All right.
Yeah. Why don't these mat companies
next topic
do this video for advertisements? Like
I don't know. People look at me weird when I say this. Like, this is just an old wrestling thing no one does anymore. Like, this got lost in the 90s or something. Because we did this experiment up to the 2000s. Because I graduated in 2001, so we did it till 2000 at least.
It's because you're not using organic eggs.
Okay. Can't waste an egg. You can't waste an egg. Sorry. No, it's too expensive. All right. So, Anthony, we'll go on to our main topic today.
Yep. So I know in the past, I've always talked about, we talk about stuff like services, products and stuff. And I'm always like, okay, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to test it out and I'm going to come back and let you guys know. And in the past, one of the ones that I did was the American Judo development model, right? I paid, was it $40 for the course? I took the course and then we interviewed the panel. Was it because I talked about it that they set up an interview? I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, it was because we talked about it and then Judo Chop Suey also talked about it. So it was getting a little bit of press and they were like, hey, well, we want to give, I don't want to say like give our side of the story, but it's like, cool, let's go out there. And they did an interview with us. And they did an interview with Judo Chop Suey also. Great podcast. Check them out. Yeah.
So I took the course. I told you guys what I felt about it. You can go back and check it out if you want. And quick update is that they didn't really, obviously we haven't heard anything more from the AJDM, that in-person coaching course, same thing. Like haven't heard anything about that. I don't have a USA Judo local coaching badge from taking that course. So I don't know what the purpose of that course was, but, I mean,
it was to learn and grow. It's to learn and grow. That's what it was for.
You kind of blame it on the pandemic, right? So, yeah, maybe they'll hear this and make me eat my words, and they have something in the pipeline. But I mean, it's been a while, and I haven't. The thing feels like it's just a waste of money. But anyway, so the next thing we talked about too was the American Judo I'm so confused by a name now. Damn it, but Jimmy Pedro, like because their site is usajudo.com, and
they yanked that name away from
American Judo System, like the American Judo System, right?
The American Judo System. Yes, yeah.
And he knows what he's doing. Yeah. It's intentional. Like even people like us are confused. So it's essentially online subscription service where you pay a monthly fee and you get access to all their videos, or you could buy the video straight out. Like they have a Tachiwaza system, and then Waza system, a Sankaku encyclopedia, and Osotogari video. If you buy each of the videos, I think they're something like $200 before discounts. Ooh. Yeah. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
Man, making that money, man. Yeah,
I will say though, it's pretty well. Well, I'll get into it when we talk more about it. But basically, you can either buy just the video straight out, or you can pay this monthly fee and you get access to the videos. So I saw a sale going on because the monthly subscription was like $50, I think, and the sale was going on for $29.99. So subscribe for a month because I said I would probably try it out and then let people know how it is. And when we first talked about it, it was still relatively new. So I know there was like probably bugs and kinks, and then there wasn't a lot of content probably. So I just waited. But when the sale came on, I think it had a good amount of content already. So I signed up, tried out for a month, and obviously I didn't get to go through all the videos in detail fully because like I said, they're pretty long. But I'm basically going to talk about my experience with the American Judo System. You're
so nervous saying that name.
I'm so confused now because I'm afraid of mixing it up with AJDM, like American Judo System and American Judo Development Model, like because especially since we just talked about it. We just talked about it, so it's kind of confusing. But yeah, so. The site, I think, was built on Squarespace or Shopify. I think it was Shopify. If you guys work in tech, you probably know those two, but I'm pretty sure it's Shopify. In terms of easy to navigate, it was kind of easy to navigate, but the main problem I had was after I signed up, it was like basically saying, you guys know the subscription models like Netflix, try it for seven days or whatever, right? Or first month is free. You put down your credit card information and then it's set to auto renew unless you remember to reset cancel it. Yeah. So whenever I set up those free trials, first thing I do is I cancel. So just in case I forget to cancel it when it ends, right? So I cancel a subscription. The page to cancel a subscription is kind of hard to find. I had to go to manage subscription through a link in my email that they sent me. It's kind of hard to find in the site itself. And then after I canceled it, something I noticed was I lost access to all the videos. Like I literally could not watch any of the videos. It says you're restricted. You can't look at this content. And so I sent them an email because it said like, hey, you can send us email anytime, info@usajudo.com. Like we'll help you out. So I sent them an email and it took them a whole like 2.5 weeks to get back to me. So basically the end of the subscription.
That's half your subscription right there.
Yeah. So by the time they responded, I was already like 5 days away from the end of my subscription, I think. So they're basically like saying, well, I found out what the issue was. So I was able to get back my access. What the issue was actually when you cancel your subscription, it restricts you from all the videos, even though you paid for the full month. So what I had to do was re-enable my subscription, tell it to auto renew again. Then I got my access back. So when the support got back to me, they were like, well, everything looks fine. It says your access is fine on the system. Everything looks okay. Try again. Try refreshing your browser or try clearing your cache and restarting your computer.
Refreshing your browser. You try turning your computer off and on again?
Basically some sort of instruction like that. And then I was like, hey, finally you got back. I didn't say finally you got back to me, but essentially like, oh, you got back to me. But it's been a while and I found out what the issue was. This was the issue. And instead of saying like, well, I didn't say outright that that's messed up the way that you guys did that, but they're just like, oh, glad we fixed your issue. And that was it. Like,
so to explain this to people, so if you join the American Judo system, so if you join them and try to do the whole thing where you join and then cancel immediately, they put restrictions on you so you can't access everything.
Yep.
You would have to join and keep your subscription and remind yourself on your phone or write a note to yourself somewhere, cancel on this day or cancel here this week or whatever it is to continue access. Because if you cancel it right out immediately, they take away stuff.
So that's a little, literally everything.
That's a little life hack for you right there.
Yeah. So, that's the number one issue I had was that's kind of anti-consumer, I guess, but you can kind of say it's savvy business, but most businesses, it just doesn't sound right. Right. Like,
well, it's the whole thing of like when you join a gym, you have to write it's like, God, I hate this. When you join a 24-hour fitness or a Crush or whatever place you go to Planet, you can't just be like, hey, I want to cancel my subscription this month. Oh, well, sorry. You have to write us an email or write us a handwritten letter, mail it to our home base, and then we'll let you know a month later if you can.
You got to notarize
it. Those things.
You got to notarize it.
Notarize. Your senator has to sign it also.
Do a backflip in front of the notary.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where they kind of make, like you said, like to cancel your subscription, you had to look for it. It's a little hard to find it. Also, that's another thing they kind of do to try. I've had that so many times with stuff, and then my wife also just like, I can't cancel this. How do I do it? I'm just like, that's one of my pet peeves. I hate that. I hate when they make canceling on the website hard. I hate that so much. But I get it. I understand where they're coming from. I get it, but I hate it.
Yeah. Also, honestly, for a new product like that, getting back to a customer's email like 2.5, 3 weeks later is kind of unacceptable also. So
you don't know how many people are working there. You don't know Jimmy got time to answer every email and stuff. You have work to do. That's not how you run an online business like that though. Like there's so many competitors out there. Like I have another, I'll talk about it later, but I have another subscription called Grappler's Guide that Jason Scully, I think his name was, he answers like that. He has a Facebook support group. You talk about there, he'll answer right away. And then some of the questions he'll say, this isn't the Facebook group is for technique discussions, not for support, just email us. But he always responds right away. And he even responds on Reddit too. So just goes to show like he started off recording everything by himself. Like when I got it's blown up over the years, but when he started, it was by himself and he's able to do this. Okay. Right. So, and I'd like to say that Jimmy being an Olympian with also Travis being an Olympian plus running Fuji Sports and having experience doing Judo Fanatic videos and all that kind of stuff, I think they would run a tighter ship and have the resources to do these things properly, So you're saying
compared to Jason Scully, who just started in his garage. Yeah.
All right. So that was your technical thing right there.
Yeah. That's one technical thing. The other problem I had with it was, well, why do we always start with the bad? Maybe I should start
because you do. You're such a Debbie Downer. That's why.
No, let's start with next time we talk about stuff. Remind me to start with the good stuff. Okay. So, there are good stuff. I will say that, but this is just a tech person to me that's annoyed by this stuff. But, the next thing that I didn't like was, they advertise that they have like a private Facebook group for you to ask technique discussions or make requests for videos. Cause you notice that if you follow their Instagram and stuff, they upload like weekly videos and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's weekly anymore, but you can ask them questions essentially and have access to them. I couldn't find the link to that Facebook page, like it wasn't on the website. It wasn't in the email receipt that I sent them. I was like, maybe I should send another support email asking about it, but I don't want to wait another 2.5 weeks. And by that time I'm going to cancel my subscription. So Yeah. So I never ever joined that Facebook group. If there is one, I don't know where it is, because I feel like when you sign up, that should be the first thing. Like, hey, welcome. Here's the Facebook group. Join it. If you have any questions, you can ask us there. Like that doesn't require you to hire someone to do. That's just something you would link in the welcome email that they already sent. Another thing is you'll see they have these live online classes. There's a section on the website where it says live classes. You can look at the previous sessions, and they're basically looking at like a chat while they're teaching classes where people ask questions. So they'll be like, okay, people have been asking about Osotogari. So we're going to do Osotogari today. This is how you do it. And these are variations. These are entries. This is a grip fighting sequence for that. And then, someone in chat will ask a question. They'll be like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I asked this question. This is the answer to your question. Right. So they advertise that they do 2 live classes a month. I believe it was 2. It was either 1 a month or 2 live classes a month. And there's a little box on the left side that says the next live class session will be on this date. So when I signed up, it was like a week or 2 after the last live class session. And the date was like for the last class. So it was already past that date. And I checked back. Okay. I checked back by the end of my subscription, which is end of November, and there has been no live classes since like 2 months ago. And
so you didn't get a live class then at all?
I did not get a live class. Well, I had access to the previous live classes, but the whole month of November, there was no live classes as far as I know, unless they uploaded somewhere else.
Having access to watch them is different than you're just watching a video, then being there at your computer or at your own dojo.
Yeah, but I signed up after. I signed up after the last live class session, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you're there for a month, if you pay for a month, you should have at least gotten 1 live class.
Yeah, but there was no live classes for the whole month of November, basically. Yeah, so that was something that I was like, hey, so there's no Facebook page, I didn't get my live classes. And I know that Jimmy Pedro and Travis in the interviews have talked about developing this platform into basically like an online dojo. Like if any of you are familiar with Gracie University, I think it's something like that, but less McDojo like, more legit, basically. Well, that's my personal opinion that Gracie University online is McDojo like, but
get us our heat already. We already got some judo heat and already got some BJJ heat now.
But they essentially wanted.
It's good because usually I'm the BJJ hater. I'm glad you're getting heat today.
They did not specify, but based off of the interviews, my impression of what they're trying to do is to basically allow BJJ schools or someone with a judo brown belt, like a Sankyu or something, who's like can teach the basics, but not something intermediate or advanced, watch these videos and then teach it at their own little club. So if we don't have a black belt in middle of like Wyoming or something, or Wisconsin or something, but there's someone there who moves there and he's a brown belt or maybe a green belt, they can watch these videos and teach like basics to these people, and then attend live classes. And then eventually they're going to do online belt testing. So you record like the Nike no Kata, record someone doing all the requirements for the green belt, and then submit the videos to them and they'll approve it and then give you an online certificate and rank tracking for saying you're a green belt under an American judo system, basically, or a yellow belt. So that's the idea that I think they have. So these live classes was supposed to facilitate that, but yeah, did not get any access to them.
It's funny you bring that up. No, so it's funny you bring this up because the American Judo System just posted some pictures, and I don't just post a video, but they post pictures of them just giving out like 4 or 5 certificates to some people at.
That's the coach. That's the new coaching system. That's the new coaching system.
Okay, so
it's expensive.
Those people, was it? Was that in your system also? Was that available?
No, that's something that first, I don't know, because that came out after I canceled my subscription, the end of my subscription. And when they announced it was a pre-order. Like they weren't done with it yet. They said it was on their Instagram. They said they weren't done with it. And I think this is to be a certified coach under the American Judo system. So they're basically trying to eat the share of what USA Judo, USJ, and USJF does, like the coaching clinics we went to.
Yeah.
They're trying to replace that essentially.
Yeah. Which they talked about that when they first talked about the American Judo system. That's one thing they wanted to do to develop. Okay. So that wasn't like a certification class of, okay, now you're a brown belt under American Judo system. That was okay, you got a coaching level 1 or in America, we do level 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think all countries probably do that actually, because level 3 is international level coach, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
So this coaching system right here is just makes you. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Yeah, it lagged for a second. I'm not. Okay. Yeah, it's from the impression of what I saw on what they advertised in the coaching system. It seems like they're talking more about like sports psychology and like how to run a class, how to keep people safe, and then like drills you can do. I think it seems like more of that versus most of the other coaching clinics is more about like the rules of judo and refereeing, how to behave at a tournament, what to dress, how to not get kicked out of a tournament, how to not get sued, like that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know if like they're kind of separate, but you were going to say?
Oh no. So I was just wondering so that depends on another question of it. This is more like American Judo System question itself would be, so if I get this certification from American Judo System, okay, I'm a certified American Judo System coach, level 1 or 2, whatever they're doing there. Could I take that to USA Judo or USJ or USJF? Yeah, right. So
no.
So this is more something you're just doing for yourself. It's more something you can just hang up on your wall, be like, hey, I'm a USA Judo coach, and got that photo, stuff. So this is just something you just add onto your wall, just like, I'm also a certified coach in American Judo System. Oh, cool. That's Jimmy Pedro's system. I know Jimmy Pedro. I know he's a good player. I know he's a really good player and stuff. Oh, Travis Stevens too. Awesome. Yeah, I know him. I've heard of him. Okay, so you're probably somewhat legit, I guess, or give some legitimacy to what you're doing, right?
Yep. I think we talked about it when we first talked about not even about the American Judo System when they announced it, but about our very early episodes of the podcast. We talked about the Travis Stevens interview, I think. And I think we briefly mentioned that they're essentially trying to bring the BJJ affiliation model to judo.
Yeah.
So they're trying to certify coaches, charging them a price, and then building this network of like, hey, this is a USA Judo certified judo program inside a BJJ school, or someone who starts a judo dojo. This is a USA Judo certified dojo.
American Judo System, right?
Yeah.
Because I say USA Judo System. I know we have so many acronyms on things. It gets confusing for us. But it's kind of funny you bring that up because of all systems. Because I had someone actually message me about I only deal with USA Judo, USJF, and USJA. Those are the 3 I deal with. I know there are some other smaller federations out there and stuff, small organizations. And one of our people were asking me about that. And I was like, man, I don't know. I deal with the 3 major big ones. And for me, if you're in one of those, if you're a certified black belt or brown belt in another federation, I would still try to get certified with USJA, USJF, or USA Judo, because they're the major ones everyone deals with. Mm-hmm. And my thing is like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I wouldn't deal with USJF right now. I'll just go straight to USA Judo. They're the ones that deal with the Olympics.
Say that again, because you just kind of cut off there. I might have to edit it out. Yeah.
Which part was it? Which part did I say?
You're not even going to deal with USJ.
Yeah. So I wouldn't even deal with USA Judo. I mean, I would deal with USA Judo. That's what I would deal with. They're the ones that deal with the IOC. They're the ones that deal with the Olympic Committee. They're the international recognized one. Okay. So if you're going to do stuff with USJA or USJF, that's fine. But I wouldn't do anything else with the smaller ones. Like, I'm not sure if, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, if to be certified with the American Judo System, I can see it. Okay, because you have Jimmy Pedro and you have Travis Stevens. 2 big names will know. But with anybody else, I'm not sure, because I have people, like I said, ask me questions about these things, and I don't know them, so I can't help you out. But if I was to do it right now, I would just go directly to USA Judo. But that's just me.
I mean, that's what I did, because they have the least hoops to jump around, like,
yeah,
it's one thing to be like, okay, you have to complete all these requirements, but it's another thing for them to say like, well, your paperwork didn't fill out properly, like, so
hey, no, you'll get that from USA Judo too. You'll get that from them as well.
Or we lost your
paperwork. Yeah. So let's go to the good things. Now,
wait, I'm not done with the bad things yet, but
you're not done with the bad things? Oh my God. Okay. What's the next bad thing that you didn't like? All right.
Okay. So yeah, why don't we swap? You're right. Let's just swap to a good thing let's swap to a good thing.
Can we talk about one good thing what's one good thing you liked, Anthony, please?
The Newaza video and the grip fighting video, they're really good for not just people who, well, beginners shouldn't be thinking about grip fighting in general unless you're competing, I think, in my opinion. But the grip fighting Videos, a lot of people learned grip fighting through randori experience and fighting better people. But imagine you're at a very small local recreational club, like let's say your club has like 1 brown belt and like 5 yellow belts and 3 white belts and 1 black belt sensei. Then you're not getting a full range of grip fighting scenarios or grip fighting styles, or a system, or that sensei might not even know how to teach grip fighting, just fights off of instincts, right? So the grip fighting video available on it is really good, even though I personally disagree with some of what Jimmy Pedro says in certain styles. Like he's saying the way that he puts out the video is that's like, you're stupid if you do this. Like nobody should do this, basically. Like I'm like, okay, there are exceptions, like
no, there's always exceptions. There's
always exceptions. Yeah. If you look at IJF level, some people do things some people are totally like not even people, like some countries' gripping style are totally different from what Jimmy Pedro teaches, yet they're really successful. So we also mentioned it, like grip fighting meta basically changes over time. Like if you're doing this one thing that is so successful and everyone else does it, then someone's going to come up with a different style to counter that style. Then everyone's going to start finding ways to counter that style, and then vice versa. It just changes. So you can't say like never do this because it's always going to be bad. Like it's like based off of current, you don't want to do this when these things happen because they can do this to you. Is how they should describe it. And in some scenarios they do, especially one that pops up in my mind off the top of my head is about controlling the sleeve first. Like controlling the sleeve and not letting them get that grip first is one of the examples. But but having a grip fighting system explained like that in a video format, and it was really detailed, is good. But I was actually considering buying the grip fighting video after I saw that. Like, I'm not going to buy it for like $200 and something, but for like $150, $100, I think it would be well worth it. So that's a good part. Another good part is the Newaza videos. There's a lot of Newaza basic principles, drills, and the Sankaku encyclopedia. And the reason it's good is because, let's be honest, there's not a lot of Newaza instructionals out there for judo. Everything is stand up. There's not a lot of stuff out there. So the fact that they stand out as one of the few Newaza instructionals out there already makes it better than not having it. So I have nothing else to compare it to say like, well, this one's better than this one because blah, blah, blah. It's just more like there's really not that many out there. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
My favorite Newaza video I ever got, but the one that I downloaded, one of the best ones, is Kashiwazaki's Newaza video.
Yes, that was one of the best ones. That's the only other one I can think of. It's at that tier.
Newaza video. Yeah.
That was one of the best ones I've ever seen. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But most of the other Newaza instructionals is like, this is how you do a turnover. You grab here, and then you turn them over. There's no explanations of mechanics and strategies and why you're doing things like drills. Most of them are that, or they're BJJ approaches to Newaza, not really judo approaches. So the Newaza video is also really good. I think that's all I have to say about the good things, actually.
Okay. All right, so that was the good stuff you liked. So what was the last bad thing you liked, or what's the more stuff you irked you didn't appreciate?
They have a strength and conditioning section. I was kind of excited because strength and conditioning programs are always something that people tend to guard really closely, or you can't, for example, do Travis's. You can't. As a recreational person, I can't do some professional person's full-time training program, right? Like lift 6 hours a day, then train them 3 or 4 hours, eat and then go for a run. Then like you can't do that. You just simply can't.
Yeah. We got regular jobs. Well, at least you do. I know.
So I was expecting some sort of like, not even like a detailed program or diet, but something like that. But instead what I got was they linked you to like someone else's strength and conditioning videos. So it's not theirs, it's someone else's, which is
was
legit.
It like was it an associate of theirs?
No, it's like some other training performance centers. Like imagine you went on YouTube and looked up how to do squats. Like that's what it felt like.
I just like this. Connect just some random YouTubers video that we like. That guy got some good shit. Put the YouTube.
So essentially,
there, hyperlink. Yeah, good.
Yeah, the videos aren't bad because they're like, okay, this is how you do a squat. These are things you want to look out for if you do it wrong. So there's no strength and conditioning program. It's just like this is how you run. This is how you squat. This is how you do a deadlift. This is how you do a kettlebell swing. So they have these exercises, and you just freaking pick and choose them yourself. There's no program. It's not like, okay, you want to do a 3-day split, do upper body pull on these days, lower body push on these days, abs on this day, run 2 times a week for 30 minutes, try and keep your heart rate at between 130 and 150. Like there's none of that scientific stuff. It's more like someone who's never ever lifted weights in their life before, that's
someone that never took PE in high school and took lifting class.
Yeah, it's essentially for people that have never ever worked out before. So yeah, and also as I'm getting older, I'm realizing like I'm not getting as much gains doing some of these heavy weight lifting too many times because I've been lifting weights almost all my adult life. Starting in my 20s. But after a while, I realized stretching is important. Like some dynamic stretches are important. Body weight's important. Doing some core work and balance drills or the resistance bands, like all those things are also very important, and not just lifting the basic weights. So the strength and conditioning section is a very fundamental part. And honestly, that's not something I'd pay for. So with that said, they might expand it again in the future.
It's only been what, a year and a half? Has it been even 2 years yet? It's been out only about a year and a half, right?
Yeah, I guess it feels like it's been a year and a half. Yeah. But I don't want to say it's like to summarize, I don't want to say the whole thing is bad. Like this is kind of where the paradox is, because if you're a super beginner, this is a really good deal for you, paying a monthly fee or even buying the videos. But if you're even intermediate or advanced, I think most of that stuff is a waste of time, and you're better off just buying off the gripping and the Nawaza videos or some other videos. But that's the thing is, most of these things you need mats and a partner to practice in. So it doesn't matter how many videos you watch, right? And yeah, I didn't talk about the stand-up content. The stand-up content is not bad. It's not bad. Again, it's not bad, but it ties into what I was about to say. It's a paradox, because if I have a dojo and a sensei that they'll teach me, I don't need these videos, because it's exactly the same thing that they're going to teach me, unless unless you have a terrible sensei, then.
Okay. Now, let me give my experience now from this point. So what I wanted to do was I wanted Anthony to buy the videos, do the subscription, and see what they have on the site. And so my thing was to be that I was going to watch the videos they had for free on their YouTube, Instagram, and on the Facebook. And so I've been keeping up with that stuff, watching mostly their Newaza videos, some of their hand gripping fighting videos, and their technique videos. Now, for me, it was kind of like doing a refresher course, because there were certain things that they would talk about and do that. Be like, oh yes, I remember that grip. I remember doing that. I haven't done that in years. I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
So for me, as an advanced black belt, it was a refresher course. It was like, oh, I haven't thought about that in years. I haven't thought about that technique or how to go around this way. Or there was one leg lace thing that they did to get the arm that I was like, I've never thought about it that way. I always used this technique in this direction. I didn't think about using it in the opposite direction, the way they did it. So for me, that's where I thought it was good. And this is the way I feel about most online tutorials anyways, that as a beginner, if you see this, you're not going to know what's happening. You're not going to understand it. As a brown belt or higher, it's great for a refresher to see what other people bring, what other people have.
Yeah, that's why I agree.
All this stuff. I thought, yeah. No, go ahead. Go.
I agree, because like I said, if you're a beginner, you're not going to understand most of the details that they go through, which is what makes these videos good, is like the details and the variations but you're not going to understand it. It's kind of like trying to explain Kazushi, the advanced concepts of Kazushi to beginners, right? Or telling people to do some crazy version of Tayatoshi. Or someone's first day, you try to teach them Uchimata, like same thing. Like they don't have the coordination or understanding, right? So, but then like I said, when you're a brown and a black belt, you would notice these things. But again, I think you would have a sensei to tell you that stuff. So,
well, sometimes you don't. You get some senseis that are very basic, simple senseis, like with the Newaza stuff. There are still senseis out there that are highly against Newaza. They're like, why do you need Newaza? Just throw for equal, just throw for Wazari, and then stand back up, which I hate because I like doing well-rounded judo. So when you go there and you see like, oh, I can do that. That's allowed in judo. Like there's a video a friend sent me of this BJJ versus judo real sparring. And I could tell watching the video, the judo guy didn't know Newaza. It had no Newaza.
Yeah.
So of course the BJJ guy, like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, BJJ set us up again, but they kind of set us up again against a judo guy that didn't know Newaza. That's not his fault. It's just the guy that he trains with, the guy that he knew, probably didn't train with a Newaza coach. Doesn't train to go into arm bars, go into chokes, or go into pins, or work from the bottom. When I first started doing judo here at Hollywood, the head instructor at the time, Sensei Lee, hated Newaza. I liked Newaza. Some of the other guys liked Newaza. But he hated Newaza. He would always say that Newaza was plain, like, oh, they're babies playing on the floor. Like, so you might have a sensei out there that's like that. And you might think that judo has no Newaza. Like I still get people when I talk to people at work on set sometimes, they're like, oh yeah, I do BJJ. And I was like, oh yeah, I do judo. Oh yeah, you're there on stand up, right? It's like, no, we have Newaza, we have groundwork, we have pins and chokes and all stuff.
It's funny you mentioned that because we've had a couple of beginners come in and they said they tried judo. They wanted judo, not because we're cheaper. Actually, they actually said like, well, you guys do stand up and groundwork, but BJJ only does groundwork. So yeah, I feel like it's a full package. And, and I'm like, you are right. Like, but then you had to explain to them how it's very different than Newaza.
But yeah, but it is like, you are correct, but it depends on the school, the dojo, your sensei, how they teach. So going back to the instructional things, one thing that I got when they were teaching some of the instructional stuff, especially for the Newaza stuff, I felt that they weren't super in depth. They would show it, demonstrate it, talk a little bit about it. And I don't know if that was just because they're shorts, because they're on YouTube, or because they're on Instagram.
It's because they're shorts. Yep.
Okay. So when you buy the video, so when you get the monthly, buy the month or the subscription, they go into more detail on the videos on the site.
It's great. Right? That's why I said I liked it. That's why I like the Newaza videos, is what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. But to go back to what you were saying, like, you would find more use in this if you're more advanced, which is why I think where these videos would come in to be the most valuable was, like I said, in that franchise or affiliation model, where let's say let's say I'm Philippe and I want to open like 6 Hollywood judo branches out there. Right. But I don't have 6 black belts that are instructors that want to teach. But then you have this brown belt that's pretty good, but not black belt level yet. Then you can have him teach ukemi and teach basic osotogari and stuff. Then these videos is where I think would be helpful if you're trying to produce that model. So right now I don't see too much value in it as someone who trains, because like I said, if you have a dojo and a partner, then these things will come naturally. And you need a dojo and a partner to practice this stuff anyway, unless you have a home garage gym and someone else is willing to. I mean, personally, if I don't know someone's skill level and they're like, "Hey, I learned judo online. Let me try it on you," I'll be like, "No, thank you." So
I learned judo. I will admit this because the online model become more popular. Before, it used to be like a video cassette or the DVD model where you mail it into whatever instructor or federation you're part of. I think judo and grappling is all right. So what was I talking about? All right. So going back to when you mail stuff in, one of the things that they used to do back in the day is that you would mail in your karate videos or your taekwondo videos. You'd use like mail over federations. And this, I don't want to say it's similar to that, but it's kind of similar because didn't it, one of the things they talked about was that you could mail them in videos and they'll critique you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with judo, I really do agree with you that you need someone there. Because if you just do 10,000 chikomis, and we see it in our class all the time, I can yell to my blue in the face with some of these people like Ippon Sonagi, you put them right here, you catch their arm right here, and they're still doing basic shoulder throws, like doing Greco wrestling or something. Shoulder throw, shoulder throw, shoulder throw. So if I'm doing this 10,000 times, and then I decide I'm going to mail this into Travis Stevens, I'm going to have the bad habit built in there. Yeah. And that's why it's like, this is good for people that are already there. It's any online thing to me, It's much easier to learn online karate, I think, or online taekwondo or striking or boxing, maybe even, than it is to do online grappling. That's just how I feel. Some people might try to get some heat on me because of that, might get some mad. I understand, but grappling is much more technical.
Yeah, I mean, I've trained with some people. So I train Wing Chun, right? So I've trained with some Wing Chun people that said, I learned online. I use this online subscription program, like a lot, especially during pandemic, it's been blowing up. And then I'm like, okay, like show me what you know. Like, so they know the movements.
Just some Chinese music hits in the background. Okay, show me what you know. You get her stance and stuff like that.
It's like, come. No, so I mean, in Wing Chun we call it touching hands. Like we touch their hands and so we feel how their structure is. It's kind of it's very similar to judo. Once you get a certain level, I talk about it. Like when I went to Japan, once you grab someone the moment you grip them, you know what kind of grappler they are. You know what I mean? Like whether they're stiff, whether they're soft, whether they're like the best grapplers are relaxed, but you feel like they have control over you, right? Like there's a little tug of war of your energy. I don't know how, like it sounds woo woo, but that's what it feels like. Cause when at the Kodokan, some people are newer Shodans, you grab them and they just feel like super nervous and stiff and they're trying to like ragdoll you around. And that doesn't bother me. But then when you grab someone good, that's like relaxed, you're like, oh crap, this guy knows what he's doing and I'm going to go flying any second. So it's the same thing with Wing Chun. Like you touch their hands and then you feel, oh, his structure is bad. Like I can just like manipulate him how I want or push him away or strike him in all these opening spots. So online teaching doesn't teach you on any of that stuff. That's stuff you have to learn through someone else and you can only feel in person. So, that's how I see a lot of these online stuff, but, overall it's not bad. $30 a month when it was on sale. It's not bad too for what it was, but if it was like the full price, I probably wouldn't do it again. I'd like to see more. Oh, this is another thing that annoyed me. They had an Ashiwaza.
What was the full price again?
I think it was like $50 a month, like $49.99. But they had an Ashiwaza video and it had like, this is where they were saying like, well, we only teach competition throws that are good for useful for competition, but you still need to learn the full thing. So here's Oguruma. Like, and then
I'm gonna toss in an Oguruma for you. That's how I feel today. We're feeling good. I'm feeling generous. Give me an Oguruma.
So he's like, this is how you do an Oguruma. And then I'm like, okay, Ashiwaza, where's Uchimata? And there's like no Uchimata video on there.
Are you serious?
There's no Uchimata. There's no resources for Uchimata.
Ooh, that's a secret. That's a secret technique. That's the one they don't want to teach you. They don't want you knowing the Jimmy Pedro Uchimata.
Yeah, there's no Uchimata. So I was a little disappointed because, I'm all things Uchimata. I even have my Uchimata book I was reading last night. But yeah.
Well, no, it's not all Uchimata, because I remember I watched a video on Travis Stevens talking about Uchimata and demonstrating how he liked to do his. I remember watching a video like
that's
that.
probably a one-off video, but there's no there's no instructional video available on that subscription. So my throat's kind of hurting from you choking me all last night over and over again. Like when you're teaching jokes. Even your strangles are like windpipe chokes. So it's like, you're like,
pain. Hey, whatever makes them tap. All right. The ref ain't looking down here. Got me check one over, put over there.
So that was my experience with American judo system. Yes, I got it right.
All right. Yeah.
But I recommend people check it out and decide for themselves whether they like it or not. I mean, think about $30 is not that much, and in the scheme of things, still cheaper than a lot of BJJ instructionals out there.
It's like just a dojo.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like any dojo fee. Like $30 isn't that bad, Try it out for a month, see how you like it. But I'm going to recommend again because of stuff that I've seen. You have to really get it. I think you need to be a brown belt and above. But if you're a good green or blue belt, purple belt, even if your dojo does that, try it out. You might have some questions afterwards, and then you can take those questions to your sensei, to your instructor, and ask, why do we do this? How does that work? How does this happen? How do I get to this from point A to point B? It might help you out that way. But if you're a white belt, yellow belt, maybe an orange belt, I'm going to try. You're going to get lost. You're going to be like, which was north? I don't know how to get here. How did I get here? Wrong turn, Albuquerque.
Yeah. So we're going long enough, and there's also your internet issue, so I'll keep it shorter. But I mentioned Grappler's Guide. Like they started putting some Sambo takedowns in there, and they're going to add more judo stuff in the future. They're talking about it on the Facebook group because again, the Facebook group, he was like, what kind of content would you guys like to see on Grappler's Guide? And people are like, I want to see more takedowns. And this goes back to what we were saying, how BJJ for a while, leg locks were the fad, right? But then everyone knows how to counter leg locks now. So now takedowns is starting to gain momentum. So, again, I'm pretty sure judo is going to F it up and drop the ball on this opportunity to grow. But yeah, so Grappler's Guide is something where you pay a one-time fee. So it's not a subscription model. You pay a one-time fee and you get lifetime access to the videos. And they always have content. Lifetime. Yep. I've had it for like 5 years.
Is there like a shitload of advertisements then? You got a lot of pop-ups. They're like commercials.
The online platform's not as good as some of the other ones out there, but they've just revamped it and it's improved a lot. It used to be just a link to a forum post with videos embedded into forum posts. If you go online back in the early 2000s or 90s, you know what I'm talking about as a forum. So they revamped it and it actually has a site now, so it's pretty good. They also have a mobile app, which isn't very good, but given their resources, and they had to make an Android and an iPhone version, so I understand. I think it's just a wrapper around I'm getting too technical. For those who know what I'm talking about, it's just a wrap. It's not a native app. It just a wrapper around the website, basically. So they also added features to download the videos. So whenever I go on the plane, I load up a bunch of their videos now and on my phone and I watch it. So, yeah, it's great. There's a lot of fundamental BJJ stuff. They're starting to be more, have more stand up. Like I said, there's also yoga stuff on there for stretching. Cause I personally wouldn't want to, I heard good things about the yoga for BJJ subscription, but I don't, I'm not going to subscribe for an online yoga thing. I'll just go to a yoga studio around me, So they have
yoga. I know Downward Dog.
So there's a pretty good yoga video there, yoga video series for stretches. So I think the regular price is like 150, 160, 180. I don't remember. It was 100 and something. But every once in a while they have a sale, and I got it for like $80. It's like the best $80 I spent on my life. And I'm not going to name who, but there's some people that I talk to from our dojo. They're always like, hey, look at this Instagram video. Like they love seeing stuff on Instagram and then asking whether it'll work and then trying it out. And I'm like, hey, since you love videos so much, you should buy Grappler's Guide because it's awesome. And you just ask me a bunch of Newaza questions. They have a lot of Newaza fundamentals from a BJJ perspective. And they're like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm interested. Like, they missed out on, they don't know what they're missing out on, basically.
YouTube and Instagram are free. All right. I can see all the crazy shit, grappling styles, flying shit I want. All right.
It's very different. Jason does a lot of the fundamentals videos, but then he also brings in like experts, like people who won ADCC. He's talking about bringing on Shintaro. He's talking about bringing on Travis Stevens. Like it's all people from YouTube. Actually, a lot of them have their own YouTube channels that come on and do these videos. So it's not just him. It's he invites experts, and actually bought the Striker's Guide too, because with the growth of Grappler's Guide, he started a Striker's Guide for striking. So I haven't had time to go through the striking videos yet, so I can't really comment on that, but highly recommend it. Even if it's not on sale, I would still buy it in hindsight, but I caught it at a good time. I heard good things about it, and I was hesitant, just like most people I'm talking about right now. Like I'm hesitant to buy it, but when it went on sale, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try it. Like this pandemic time back then. No, it wasn't pandemic. I hurt my knee at the time. I couldn't train. I was like, might as well like look into it. So highly recommend it.
Okay.
I wish there was a judo version, and maybe we can start something like that, you know?
The judo guide.
The judo guide. Yeah.
Why not? So I hope this helps you out to figure out how to learn some stuff online. The American judo system seems really cool for advanced people. The Grappler's Guide seems really open for any grappling system. Seems pretty cool out there. If you guys have any questions about what our thoughts on this, please send it to us. You can hit us up again. Like, I don't know, I'm going to do like the end thing pretty much right now. You can hit us up at email pretty much at tatamitalk@gmail.com. You can hit us up at Tatami Talk on our Instagram or YouTube. So, and is there anything else you want to talk about today, or is that it?
That is it.
All right.
I gotta go get my booster
shot today, guys.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you're getting your booster shot. I can't talk a lot today. I'm sorry, people, because the connection, I'm scared you're not going to hear me. And we already messed up a couple times. So, All right. So at the end, you can follow me at the Jerry. Oh, actually, there's one little thing right there for our fans out there. If you want to follow me or Anthony, follow us on Instagram. Okay. Follow us at our YouTube channel. My Twitter account, I've had some people try to become friends with me on Twitter. My Twitter account is for my work, stuff. So that's all it's for. I don't use it for anything else. I don't post nothing on there. Everything I post is on Instagram. Everything we post is going to be on the Instagram for Tatami Talk as well. Anthony doesn't have a Twitter.
I have a Twitter, but you won't find me because the name's different. So yeah. It's for my friends. So
yeah, I have no friends on Twitter. So if I deny you, if I tell you no, it's not personal. It's just Twitter. That's just my work stuff. Sorry. All right. So if you want to follow me, you follow me at @the_Juan. You follow Anthony at Anthony Throws. You can follow Tatami Talk itself on Instagram. You follow Tatami Talk on YouTube itself. All right. Send us any message you have first to email at tatamitalk@gmail.com. Anything I'm forgetting, Anthony?
No. You're forgetting too.
No, I'm going to say it right now. I'm saying it right now. All right. I'm going to say. So Anthony, hope you guys have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, anything else you guys celebrate out there. Festivus for the rest of us. All right. And don't forget to
slap the mat.
All right. Peace out.